Okay, hello everyone. I'm Thomas from TROSCAN developer team, and I'm glad to be here to share you the TROSCAN information. And I'm wondering whether you can hear me or you can see me. Just do one more test. If you can see me, just tap 1 on the screen. If not, tap 2. Okay, let's start our talk. Today, my topic is TROSCAN, the future of blockchain explorer. Here, I will reveal the internal working mechanism of TROSCAN, and I will briefly introduce the TROSCAN's future plan. And here, I will review TROSCAN in these 3 parts. First is the basic work of TROSCAN, and I will introduce you 3 major works of TROSCAN. This part is mainly about what you can see in the website. Next, I will introduce TROSCAN's technical work. This part is mainly about the performance of TROSCAN, such as the loading speed and the response time of the API call. And at last, I will briefly introduce TROSCAN's future plan. As for the basic work, I divided into basic data analysis, statistical work, and user interaction. Let's start with basic data analysis. So before we can do the data analysis, first we should have data. So our first and priority work is to bring data from full node or solidity node to TROSCAN. Here I want to emphasize is that TROSCAN do not produce data. We are only data messengers. So next time, if you find the TROSCAN data is inconsistent with the data from the data sources, please feel safe to trust them. And don't forget to inform TROSCAN to fix the incorrect data. And after we fetch the data, we go into the next step, process data. All the raw data from Tron node is hex encoded. So we need to parse the data to make it readable and classify the data by its features, such as blocks, transactions, and transfers, as you can see on the TROSCAN website. And we store the data into our database. After doing that, at last, according to TROSCAN's demands, we will develop different APIs to show the data to users. Here, in conclusion, the basic data analysis work of TROSCAN is to obtain and process data from data sources and finally display them to the users. And next, I will show you 3 major works of TROSCAN last year. First, TROSCAN supports Sun network. Here is a graph of a Sun network, and you can view through this link. This graph is so small, I'm wondering whether you can see it. So, same rule. If you can see the graph clearly, just tap 1 on the screen. If not, just tap 2. Okay, let's go back to the slide. Now, TROSCAN, Sun Network TROSCAN and the Midnight TROSCAN are updated simultaneously. So, the new feature of TROSCAN are also displayed in the Sun network. Next, TROSCAN support the full node data. Now, if you scan the blocks, transactions, and transfers in TROSCAN, you will see both the unconfirmed and confirmed data. And if you view the details of these data, you may find the confirmation numbers. Third, TROSCAN has transaction screening features. This feature, I think, is the greatest in our work. Here in this graph, you can see you can filter these transactions by its transaction time, transaction type, status, results, and the tokens. Furthermore, you can screen the result by just searching the addresses and transaction hash. So this is amazing work. And this is our basic data analysis work and 3 major work of TROSCAN. Next, let's move on to the statistical work. Basically, TROSCAN stores over 6.7 terabyte of data. And this data will produce meaningful statistics after analysis. So let's start to look at the homepage graph. There are most common statistical graphs and 5 statistical data on the TROSCAN homepage. And I think if you follow Justin's Twitter, you will find that he always quotes this data. If not, just open your Twitter and follow Justin, and you will get all these messages. Okay, let's move on to the top statistics. You can view the top statistics through the link. Here, the top statistics mainly focus on the changes of accounts, tokens, contracts, and resources of TROSCAN in a period of time. So here is an example. You can find addresses which send the most or receive the most TRX. And for more information, you can view this link. And as for the statistic charts, these charts mainly focus on the overall trends or proportion or the other features of different data. The time range is from the Tron Independence Day to the present. And for example, you can see the energy consumption and daily transactions here. And for more information, you can view this link showed here. Last, I will show you the proposal votes in TROSCAN. Here, we statistic every super representative's votes for and against each proposal. Here, in the proposal details, you will intuitively find which super representative votes for or against these proposals. Here, and this is all the statistical work of TROSCAN. And here in summary, in addition to data acquisition and processing abilities, TROSCAN also analyzes data to show the users the statistical data and show us the development trend of TROSCAN. Next is the user interaction. Compare with the 2 parts we just discussed. This part is relatively simple. First, we develop a login system. Users can log in here and tag the addresses in their own way. And secondly, we have a token record feature. Users can record TRC10 and TRC20 created by themselves. And we will develop more features of TROSCAN later. Here, this is all the basic work of TROSCAN. Here, we will talk about the technical work of TROSCAN. Before I show you the architecture of TROSCAN, I'd like to show you some numbers. Here you can see we stored much data, and the data size is over 6.7 terabyte, and our QPS is 332, and the max QPS is over 73,000. But as you can see, the response time is still very good. The average response time is 0.041 seconds, and 99% of response time is below 0.651 seconds. So, how can TROSCAN maintain such good performance under such a good large scale of requests? Let's take a look at the architecture of the TROSCAN. Here, the TROSCAN is composed of three modules. They are display module, import module, and interactive module. We use full node and solidity node as data sources. Here clearly you can see the import module plays the messenger role. It brings data from our data sources and stores it to the database. And also the import module do the statistical work. As for the display module, it reads data from our database and show it all to the users. And for the interactive module, we save user login and token information into my circle, and this internal part of in the interactive mode will regularly synchronize my circle data to the Elasticsearch cluster. Here we use Elasticsearch as our database because Elasticsearch better fits our business for reading more and writing less. And this is our architecture diagram. And next, this is the TROSCAN Git status, and I will just show here because our time is limited. Okay. Here is the technology upgrade of TROSCAN. The first one is TROSCAN upgrade Node API. Actually, this is not made by TROSCAN. This is made by TronNode. The newly added method can fetch all transaction info in a block and significantly improve the import speed. And secondly, these three are all really the TROSCAN's upgrade. First, we separate import model from Elasticsearch clusters to make that such that the server can especially be the Elasticsearch node. And next, we create a new index and merge old index segments. And then we deal with wrong and missing data to make TROSCAN's data accurate. And at last, we made some code upgrades such as remove redundant calls and cache important data. And after this series of operations, wow, let's see. There is a significantly drop of the average response time. Okay, I think I still have some time, so I will briefly introduce the future plan of TROSCAN. First, and is the most important, is TROSCAN will be able to provide stable services for the users. Next, TROSCAN will support the new features such as transient privacy features. And since TROSCAN have powerful data processing abilities, in the future, TROSCAN will provide more statistical data. And thirdly, TROSCAN will upgrade the architecture to adapt to the changing business needs. And before I finish my presentation, if you want to know the progress of TROSCAN, just open your WeChat and scan this QR code to follow our official accounts. And if you don't have a WeChat, it's okay. Just open your Twitter and follow Justin. You will not only find the TROSCAN's progress, and also you will find the current information of Tron ecosystem. And that's all I want to share with you. And thank you for your listening. Thanks.